Here, you sound wet. I have 2 hands and only need 1 umbrella. He held it out in the direction of the sound, the particular sound of shoes on wet pavement that belonged to someone who had been caught without cover and was moving fast and unsuccessfully through the November rain. He was 4 years old, standing very still, the way he had learned to stand when his father was not right beside him, his white cane tucked under his arm, his small yellow umbrella extended toward a stranger he could not see. His name was Stellan Rowe. He had been blind since birth. He had also, at 4 years old, developed the navigational confidence of someone twice his age and the social instincts of someone 3 times that, which his father attributed to the fact that Stellan had learned to understand people through voice and touch and the quality of their silences long before most children learned to read faces. The woman who stopped was wet. He could tell from the way the rain changed pitch around her, the drops hitting a coat rather than umbrella fabric. "Oh," she said. "Oh, sweetheart, I can't take your umbrella." "My dad has a big one," Stellan said reasonably. "He's right there. He'll share with me. You don't have anyone." A pause. Then, "How do you know I don't have anyone?" "Because if you did, they would have given you their umbrella already," he said. "That's what you do." Her name was Camille Voss. 27 years old, she was a family court judge, the youngest in the county, appointed 8 months ago after 4 years as a public defender and 2 as an assistant district attorney. She was currently very wet because she had walked from the parking garage to the courthouse steps and misjudged the distance against the speed of the rain, and she was standing on a city sidewalk being offered an umbrella by a 4-year-old with a white cane who had just delivered, with complete simplicity, the most accurate social observation she had heard all week. She took the umbrella, because refusing it felt like refusing something important. "Thank you," she said. "What's your name?" "Stellan. What's yours?" "Camille." "That's a pretty name," he said, with the direct appreciation of a child who doesn't understand that compliments are supposed to be rationed. As if summoned, a man appeared from under the awning of the building behind them, moving quickly with a large umbrella, reaching Stellan's side with the particular controlled urgency of a father who has allowed his child appropriate independence and is always watching anyway. Stellan. Then he saw the stranger and the yellow umbrella. His name was Fen Rowe. 33 years old, he was a painter, not commercially successful in the way the word usually implied, but genuinely working, genuinely skilled, represented by a small gallery that sold enough to sustain the work, if not comfortably. He was a careful father, a patient man, someone who had organized his entire life around making Stellan's world navigable and rich rather than restricted. He had taught his son the city block by block, narrating textures and sounds and the behavior of weather, until Stellan knew rain the way a musician knows keys, by its varieties and what each one meant. The woman who stopped was wet. He could tell from the way the rain changed pitch around her, the drops hitting a coat rather than umbrella fabric. "I'm sorry," he said. "He does this." "Don't apologize," Camille said. "You were completely right." "I know," Stellan said pleasantly. Fen looked at the sky, which showed no sign of improvement, and at this young woman who was going to remain wet regardless of the small yellow umbrella. "There's a coffee shop half a block that way, if you're not in a hurry." She had a hearing in 40 minutes. She said yes anyway. What Camille did not know, sitting across from Fen and Stellan in the warm coffee shop while the rain continued outside, was that Fen had a case pending in family court, not his own, his sister's, a custody dispute that had been moving through the system for 8 months, complicated by geography and by the specific failures of this situation that had produced, as these situations often did, more paperwork than resolution.
She didn't know. He didn't say. They talked about Stellan, who ordered hot chocolate with the efficiency of someone who knew the menu, and about painting, and about the way the city felt in the rain to someone navigating it primarily by sound. "He told me you'd share your umbrella," Camille said to Fen. "He said that's what you do." Fen looked at his son. "He's been paying attention," he said quietly. He also said you'd like my name, Camille said, because of the soft sounds. Fen was quiet for a moment with the expression of a man whose 4-year-old has accurately summarized him to a stranger in under 60 seconds. He's not wrong, he said. She left for her hearing with her wet coat and Stellan's yellow umbrella and the slightly altered quality of the day that happens when you are unexpectedly given something by someone who had every reason to keep it. The connection came 3 weeks later, not through any plan of Fen's, but through the ordinary machinery of a court system that was smaller than it appeared. His sister's case was reassigned. The new judge was Camille Voss. She recognized the last name on the docket the morning before the hearing. She sat with the information carefully, ethically, confirming through the proper channels that there was no disqualifying conflict. She had met the brother once, briefly, in the rain. She had not discussed the case. The assignment stood. She recused herself anyway, not because she was required to, because she had held a yellow umbrella once and understood that some lines, once drawn honestly, deserved to stay drawn. She filed the recusal with a note that cited the prior social contact and requested reassignment. Her clerk, reading the note, asked why she hadn't simply let it stand. "You barely knew him," he said. "I knew enough," she said. "The hearing deserves a judge who has nothing in it." The case was reassigned and resolved within a month in her sister's favor. Fen found out from his sister. He didn't know the full sequence, just that the original judge had recused for a prior contact. He thought about it for a day before it landed. He called the courthouse, left a message. She called back on a Thursday. "You didn't have to do that," he said. "I know," she said. "That's why I did. And then, because it was the honest thing, your son told me that's what you do." There was a pause on the line, the good kind, the kind that means something has been said that doesn't need to be added to. "He's usually right," Fen said. "He was completely right," she said. Outside, the November rain had moved on and left the city cleaner than it found it, the way rain sometimes does when it has been thorough enough. A yellow umbrella stood drying in the corner of a painter's studio. A judge sat at her desk with a clear docket and the specific quiet satisfaction of a person who has done the right thing because it was right and needed nothing further from it. Give your umbrella. Do the right thing even when no one requires it. Kindness and integrity are the same act offered in different weather.
If this story touched your heart, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let's spread more stories of kindness and hope together.